What is up, guys? It's your man Rosie Q with Pro Delivery Tips back with another video. And today I'm going to be breaking down for you guys, as you can see, how to make $300 delivering for DoorDash, GrubHub, and Uber Eats. And full disclaimer, I want to say I don't make $300 every day in the gig delivery economy. I generally make anywhere from $225 to $250 a day. Also, I'm not saying that everyone can make $225 to $300 in one day. It's going to be market dependent. It's going to be based on your market knowledge, how you navigate your zones, what orders you select, and traffic patterns and bonuses for the day. But I'm going to break this all down for you guys right now. And so, the most important skill you'll need if you want to make high dollar amounts in the gig delivery economy is order selection. Order selection is by far the most important thing. The second most important thing you need to know is how to navigate your zone. So you want to be able to navigate your zone like a local so you can get around traffic and maneuver faster within your zone or your section within your zone. So with order selection has the greatest impact on your earnings in the gig delivery economy. The reason being, order selection is how we set our hourly rate. So if you're saying, hey, my minimum is $6 per delivery, and then you say, I can get 3 deliveries in an hour, then you're saying your hourly rate, your hourly minimum is $18. And that's just how we set our rates in the gig delivery economy. Another thing about order selection you have to realize is if you accept the wrong orders, it's going to cost you time by having to wait at restaurants or having difficult drop-offs, and it's going to cost you money if you're picking orders that have you going, 10 plus miles or deliveries that are out of your zone. You're going to have to drive back to your zone, which is going to be dead miles, and it's going to cost you more gas in the end. With navigation, you want to make sure you're navigating your zone like a local. So again, you can avoid traffic or at least maneuver quicker in traffic. So think of it like this. You have a main street within your city that has restaurants, houses, apartments, so on and so forth. There's usually in every city parallel roads. So let's just say this is Main Street, there's First Street, and then there's Third Street here. First and Third Street run parallel to Main Street. They're all going in the same direction. The difference between First and Third Street and Main Street is First Street and Third Street have less lights and they have less stop signs. The reason being they have less traffic. And so you go down those roads, you'll be able to maneuver faster. Next is you want to be taking routes that have you mainly turning right versus mainly turning left, going to restaurants and going to drop-offs. The reason being, let's just assume you pull up to a light. Get to that light, you look to the left, nobody's coming, you can immediately turn right. Same light, you have to turn left though. Now you have to wait for traffic to clear that's going across, and then you have to wait for the traffic that's coming from the opposite direction of you, coming towards the direction that you just were. Wait for that traffic to clear and then turn left. That could take a minute or two depending on traffic at the time. And so that's going to end up slowing you down. Next, let's go over how do we pick the best orders. The first thing I'm looking for with orders is fast restaurants. And so I'm always thinking about what the restaurant makes. That is how I know if a restaurant is going to be fast, what they make mainly. So things like smoothies. Smoothies take a minute or two to make. Coffee takes 30 seconds to a minute to make. A salad can take anywhere from a minute or two to make. Ice cream, a lot of the times it comes pre-packaged, so it's already in the package. They just have to put it in the bag. And so I'm looking for fast restaurants. Number one, I'm looking for restaurants that are going to have me in and out in less than 3 minutes. Next, I'm looking for close orders. So I want the order total to be less than 4 miles, because close drop-offs and quick pickups equal more deliveries per hour. So just looking at the delivery on the left side, you see here, it's 16 minutes, 2.8 miles for $6.77. Let's assume I take 4 of these orders in an hour. I almost made $28 in 1 hour, which that's where I want to be at. my minimum is $25 an hour. So I want to make sure that I'm doing orders that are close so I can get more orders done. Next, the final thing that we're looking at is the dollar amount. And guys, I want you to know, please don't be fooled by the dollar amount. Dollar amount is not everything. It shouldn't be the number one reason you accept any order. It should be third at best, maybe even fourth, depending on some other things. But with the dollar amount, you just want to make sure the dollar amount has a high dollars to miles ratio. So you see here $7. If the order is paying me $7 for a 10 to 15 minute restaurant, I need it to be no more than 3.5 miles in total distance to make the delivery. If it's $7 and it's going to take, well, if the order is going to take 25 to 30 minutes, then whatever the mileage is, so let's say it's 2 miles right here, I need that for a 25 to 30 minute order to be 3 times the 2 miles. So it needs to be at least $6 if it's going to take that long. Now for me, I mean, that wouldn't work because again, I'm trying to make $25 an hour. So I need to be closer to $12.50 per 30 minutes. But that's just the way you want to look at accepting orders. You don't want to be taking long deliveries, and you don't want to be taking orders that are not with a good dollars to mile ratio. Now let's go over orders that we decline. So looking at this order right off the bat, $21.65. I know some of you are like, yes, automatic accept. Me, there's no way I'm taking this order. The reason being, if you look up here, you see I am over here. The restaurant is over here. They want me to deliver all the way over here. And you see down here, from Upper Arlington to Hilliard is where the order is going. It's going 13.7 miles. That's taking me way out of my zone. I don't want to leave the zone I'm in if it's being profitable. I want to stick with the horse that I know. And so the problem with taking these type of orders, it might not be as much of a problem on Uber because Uber, you can get pings all over the map. So it's not that big of a deal. But with DoorDash, you took this order, you get to that other zone over here, now you're not going to be getting any orders. So you either have to sign out of the app and hope that that delivery zone is pink so you can sign in there, or you have to drive all the way back to the zone you were just in, which now you're driving dead miles, which just means you're driving and you're not getting paid for those miles. So that 14-mile delivery turned into a 28-mile delivery because 14 miles to the drop off, 14 miles back to your zone. And I mean, time is money. You're losing time driving those 14 miles and you're losing gas. Next, orders with long deliver by times. So you see up here, the order came in at 9:30. The drop off is at 10, our deliver by is 10:10. So they are estimating that's going to take 40 minutes to do this delivery. For $9, 40 minutes, I mean, for me, that's not worth it. It's not going to keep me on track with what I'm trying to do. For some people, that may work. You may only want to make $15 an hour. And so, you know, this type of order may work for you. But if you generally see, hey, the deliver by time is, you know, a long deliver by time, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, just assume that the order or the restaurant is slow right now. They're very busy. And I mean, that time is a good estimate, and it is what it is. I've seen most of these estimates are, you know, pretty spot on. Another thing that we decline is slow restaurants and slow drop-offs. If you see a drop-off that might be slow, you know, it's a high rise and you have to go through a gate and you have to do a whole bunch of extra stuff. You know, it's just not going to be, you know, it's not going to be advantageous for you to do it. And obviously, going to slow restaurants, we don't get paid to wait for orders. So we just get paid for the pickup and the drop-off. But the waiting is just taking away your time from doing other deliveries. And so that's not what we want to be doing. Next, I just wanted to show you guys how I ended up making the $300. So these are all the deliveries that I accepted on January 23rd. It was a Saturday. And I just went ahead and let me just show you guys a few things. So you see here 1.6 miles, 2.9 miles, 0.5. 2.1, 2 miles. I'm trying to, again, keep close orders because the closer the orders are, the more I'm staying in the pocket of restaurants that I like accepting orders from. So I don't want to get too far away from those restaurants. So I want to keep everything close because I want to go to the same restaurants over and over again because I know they're good restaurants. And that's what you should do. Find you 5 or 7 restaurants that are really good, they're fast, and they got good payouts. And that's really all you need. You don't need to be accepting orders from, any and every place to make good money in this economy. But this was the middle of the day. So in the middle of the day, you're starting to see the payouts are starting to get a little bit bigger. It was at breakfast at first. So breakfast and right before lunch is, a little bit slower on Saturdays just because people are getting up from, Friday night, what they did on Friday. But you see here, very similar story, 2.9 miles, 1.3 miles, 2.7, 1.3, 2.7, 1.8 miles. These are all close orders. I'm keeping them all close. And by keeping all my orders and my proximity close, I'm able to accept multiple orders, not only from one app, but from different apps. So I'm over here accepting DoorDash orders at the same time I'm accepting Uber Eats orders. And I'm just making sure that, hey, the pickup, the pickup, both of the pickup restaurants are close to each other within within 0.5 miles of each other, and then the drop-offs are within a mile of each other. So even if the customers see me, veer off, take a left or a right, I'm still getting there within the allotted time that they gave me to deliver by. So nobody's getting mad. Customers aren't getting mad at me, and I'm not getting emails that I've seen on Instagram lately where people are saying, hey, extremely late orders, daze blase. Even though I'm accepting orders on other apps at the same time that I'm doing for one app, I'm not letting it slow me down. And because I know how to navigate my zone and get around fast, I'm also able to, cut off a lot of time that way. And finally, these were my last orders at the end of the night. It was $3 peak pay on DoorDash. You see a lot of, nice delivery amounts here. And then these ones with Uber Eats, the 21, 16, 19, those were double orders. So with those orders, I was taking 2 orders at one time, but 2 orders, 3.3 miles in 20 minutes. I mean, $21 in 20 minutes, guys. That's what you get from taking these quick, short orders. And over here, Chipotle. I know all of you know Chipotle is a slow restaurant. So you're probably wondering, you went there 4 times to pick up from Chipotle? Yeah, I did. And the reason being, it was worth it. $17, 2.7 miles. That's nearly 6 to 1 on the dollars to mile ratio. So it was worth waiting for. But as you can see, 7:16 is when I got this one. 7:44 is when I got that one. So it took me 30 minutes to do these 2 Chipotles. So, I mean, $17 for 30 minutes, that's how I get these big payouts. That's how I'm able to make $30 to $40 an hour, at times on these apps. And, I mean, there are sometimes you're going to get these orders where it's just like, hey, 6.1 miles, but $20.50 payout. So it was worth it. It was worth the extra drive. And I also left my zone on this one. You can't really tell, you don't really know, but I left my zone on this one. But it wasn't going too far away from my zone, so I didn't mind taking those 2 orders. All right, so let me break down the stats for you guys. So income, I made $333 on this day. Again, January 23rd, it was a Saturday. At dinner, there was $3 peak pay on DoorDash, and there were some Quest bonuses on Uber Eats, which you could see in the slides before that. I did get some of those Quest bonuses, so, got some boosters there. But as far as my mileage, I only drove 102 miles. So you see, that's a 3 to 1 dollars to mile ratio, and that's where I personally want to be. I did 34 deliveries, and the number of deliveries I did that were below 4 miles were 30 deliveries. So the majority of my deliveries, I don't know, it's probably close to 90% of my deliveries were, short deliveries. And I drove from 9:30 a.m. to 9:15 p.m. I took a 1-hour lunch break, a 15-minute break, and then a 30-minute break. for a total drive time of 10 hours. So guys, again, this is my strategy and how I go about working in the gig delivery economy on a daily basis. I look for fast restaurants that are generally going to have orders where I can do the whole order entirety in 15 minutes. I'm looking for restaurants and orders that are close. And I'm looking to avoid slow drop offs and slow pickups. And this is just how I go about it. You know, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. So I'm not going to say this is the only way you can make money in the gig delivery economy. There are other ways, there are other strategies, but this is what I do. It's worked for me. I've been multi-apping using DoorDash, GrubHub, and UberEats for over a year now. And, you know, I've been perfecting this process and I'm going to continue to perfect this process. And as I, perfect it more, I'll be bringing that to you guys. So, this is Rosie Q with Pro Delivery Tips. And if you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, you want to know anything else, feel free to hit me up in the comments below, or feel free to hit me up on IG, Pro Delivery Tips, and I'll be able to, I'll give you as much information as I can to try to help you out and try to, boost your earnings. So, Rosie Q with Pro Delivery Tips, and good luck, everybody.